welcome back to the Purpose Talks with Lourdes Anita. I'm Lourdes Anita, writer over at lourdesanita.com, and we are on episode 3 of the Purpose Talks. And if you're looking around, you're probably like, oh, they're in a new space. Well, I'm here in the Brooklyn studio of my new guest today. I'm here with Corrine Harmon, the owner of Enid B Skincare, and we're going to talk to her about her purpose today. And Corrine is just a mighty woman of God, so I know we're going to get a lot of gems from her. So, Corrine, welcome to the Purpose Talk.
Thank you for having me. So excited.
Listen, it's been a long time coming. So I'm glad I'm here to talk to you. So for the people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Corrine Harmon. I'm originally from Jamaica.
Yachty.
And my background started in jewelry design. I started making and selling jewelry when I was 11 years old. And I started with 2 of my good friends at the time. One of them, she's still my best friend. So yeah, 3 of us started together. And I started it because I just wanted to have my own money. 11. Which is crazy.
That's like a running thread here on the Purpose Talks. Get your own money.
Yeah.
Even at 11.
I don't know. It's funny. Yeah. One of my friend's mom told us, suggested that we started making jewelry. And so the first piece I made was a bracelet using the beads in our hair that we use in our hair and thread. I used thread because I used what I had.
Another lesson. Use what you have. So I feel like every video, it's like we getting the same thing. Get your own money. Use what you have.
Remember that I was 11. So, thread doesn't make sense. But I sold 3 bracelets.
Come on, girl.
3 of my kind neighbors bought 3 bracelets, and that financed that business. And then I went to the beauty supply store and I bought those the stretchy elastic, the one that's wrapped in gold that women are wearing in their hair. So I bought that because it was 50 cents a yard, and then I progressed from there. And I progressed where when I was a teenager, I was selling, making jewelry in New York and New Jersey. I grew up in Jersey, and I would come to New York. I had a couple of stores that carried my pieces. I actually went to school for jewelry design, so that's what my degree is in, and I worked in the industry. I worked for a major jewelry company after college, so it actually, progressed me, and I was able to make a career out of it. So yeah. So now fast forward to skincare,
right? Because there's a jump. I'm looking around it. We talked about jewelry, but your focus right now is more on skincare. Yes, so how do you make that transition?
So the company name is Enid B. And I named it after my grandmother, Enid. Growing up in Jamaica, we use a lot of herbs. I think a lot of the Caribbean islands, we use a lot of herbs. And she taught me about herbal medicine, not in a direct way, but just it's a part of our lifestyle. Yeah. And so even as a teenager, when I was here in the U.S., when I was making products, sometimes I want my hair to do certain things or have a certain feel, so I'll blend herbs and make teas. I just naturally did that. Yeah. It wasn't like I was thinking about I was going to be a jewelry designer. That was it. I remember as a teenager, I think I was 17 or 16, a friend asked me, so what's your plan B if jewelry design doesn't work? And that idea never came to me. So I was like, it was like you speaking a foreign language. I prepared my life to become a jewelry designer. And so, but I always made products just out of my need. And so about 7 years ago, I developed a really dry skin. And that was because I was neglecting my skin. I was being lazy. That was partly my fault. And then
lesson 3. Don't be lazy.
Self-care is important.
Right. Self-care is important. Don't neglect your skin. Don't be lazy.
And I developed these dry patches, and nothing worked. Nothing. And I was looking for natural. So I've always been into natural. And so I was looking for natural, went to Sephora, tried all these different brands, nothing worked. So I started blending and playing with oils, because I would use them out. I had locks at one time, and I used to use in my hair. So I knew about them. And someone introduced me to shea butter, which I hadn't known about. Got some shea butter, tried using that on my skin. Shea butter, it's, it melts, but it melts slowly. Yeah. So it was hard applying it. So then I started blending with oils. And I made a product that was working for myself. So then I just gave it away to my friends, and then they started placing order. Wow. So I did that for a while. I was I would take their orders and, make the products and give it to them, but I never thought about it as a business.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just realized, like, I was still doing jewelry at the same time. I had a actual studio space, not in my home, and I was selling jewelry. But then I just, like, I really need to take a break from jewelry because I was putting so much pressure on myself because it was something I wanted to do since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, my life, I was going to be a jewelry designer.
Yeah.
What am I, Korean? Well, if someone met me and is like, Korean, who are you? I am a jewelry designer. My identity was so wrapped up into it, and it was just too emotional. I would be in my studio space sometimes, like, crying.
Yeah.
And I would ask my studio mates, do you ever cry in here? And they said, no.
Oh my God.
So I was like,
manage your emotions, honey. Like, what?
I just need a break. So I packed my stuff up, moved it home, and I just took a break from it. And then I continued making the products, the skincare products, because people wanted it. But I just found myself being passionate about it. Like, I always enjoyed research, even when I made jewelry. I enjoyed of solving problems.
Yeah.
I love the mechanics of making jewelry, like how to make this piece where you can't see the back, how it functions in the back, how to cover it up, but you just have this amazing piece. Like, from the view, it's just amazing. So I loved all of that, and so people would tell me their problems with their skin, and then I would just continue doing research and making it. And I just found that I became really passionate about it, and that's how I got into making skincare products.
So you said something that stuck with me of, like, you kind of designed your life around making jewelry, and you, like, you said, this is what I'm going to do, that, like, this is what I'm going to do. But it seems like God kind of laughed at your plan and was like,
yeah,
like
I was crying.
Like,
he was laughing, I was crying.
Like, no, hon, I'm gonna take this away.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you feel like God has actually purposed you to do, and how did you manage that shift from, like, what you thought that you were supposed to be doing with your life versus what God is leading you to do with your life?
It's funny, I've thought about that, like, my purpose. I mean, I even asked my husband, like, what do you think my purpose is? And both of us concluded is serving. Like, that comes natural to me. Like, I naturally, sometimes, like, you could be walking down the street with a friend, and you see something that they don't see. And naturally, I see either people in need, I see someone that needs help, and naturally, I just gravitate towards them. And so with the skincare, that's how I approach it. Like, and that's what's helped me, because I've struggled with, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to make skincare. I don't want to make skincare products. I'm a jewelry designer. There's moments, I say up until, like, last year, I've concluded this year, like, Karine, let's move past that. Yeah. You're making skincare products. Right. This is the business God's calling you to do. At least one of them. But I've moved past that. But I see that, it's just taking a servant's heart to this business. Like, if someone doesn't want my products, I don't get offended. Like, my goal is to make something that helps people. And that really helps me to push through the hard times, because I know it's not about me. It's like, I'm serving people. I'm making something that's going to help someone that maybe have acne for years. They feel self-conscious about their skin. And maybe something that I make will work for their skin. And that helps me. It helps me push through the times when I start here. Like, the doubt starts setting, or where you get discouraged so easily, So that has really helped to anchor me. Yeah.
So one thing we talk about a lot on this channel, on the show, is, like, focusing on your purpose despite, the distractions that try to attack you. And, like you said, doubt and discouragement. Like, how do you combat those? How do you stay focused on your purpose when the doubt creeps in, when the discouragement creeps in? Like, you just really, stay focused. How do you do that?
Yeah. I think you can't just be isolated. You have to, even if there's someone I follow on YouTube, her name's Lakeisha Michelle. She's awesome. Like, I've watched so many of her content. She has, like, a show called Good Tea in the Morning, where she goes through scripture and talks about purpose and, the talents, the three servants and the talents that their master gave them. So she goes through all of that, plus also information on different courses. Like, I've purchased her courses. So I have her, and then also I have, like, friends, and I have a podcast. So there are moments where I'm in my feelings.
Honey.
And there's moments when I'm like laying in my bed, but then I also have to talk to myself.
Yeah.
Like you can't just sit there and just listen to the doubts. You have to, like, all right. Okay, I can't just sit here. You have to talk to yourself, and then have your friends that you can call that are doing things, that have formed that circle, that are going after their dreams.
Yeah.
So you can talk to them, like get out of the house and let's get together, have coffee, like let's do that, rather than isolating. So I would say don't isolate yourself. Find YouTube channels that are feeding you good things, they're feeding you good information, not just people's lives on what they woke up and like wore or what they ate. Unless that
felt like shade towards Instagram. I don't know if anybody else put that shade. Felt a little jab to the gram a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, those things, it has its place, but if you're trying to accomplish a goal, if you have things like that God just put on your heart heavy, you have to fight the distraction.
Yes.
So have that arsenal of tools that you can go to and feed yourself. Sometimes I don't want to listen to Lakeisha. She pops up on my feed, even at work. She pops up like live video, and I'm just like,
accountability.
Yes. Even through like a medium like YouTube, God speaks. God speaks. So
So things that I heard you like name. Get mentors, whether they're on YouTube or in your circle, and like have accountability for people who could keep you when you want to give up and you want to get distracted.
Yeah.
So like another thing that I want to talk about. So this is the first married lady I've had on the show. I've had mostly the single ladies, and I'm gonna ask you this question because I know nothing about it. I know nothing about the married life. Single out here. How do you feel like being married? How are you able to stay on track with your purpose? And do you feel like being married conflicts with your purpose, or it adds to it? Like, how does that work as a married woman?
Yeah. First thing I would say is, when you're choosing a spouse, you have to be intentional. And you have to really ask questions. So when my husband Eddie and I were dating, we talked about this. I said to him, I like space. I'm not the type of person that, I need to be under you the entire time. Like, I like having my space. There are times where he's at the gym and I have the house to myself. And I get to watch my shows, like... that's what I like. And I told him, like, he knew what I was trying to do. He knew about me having my own business. He knew about my dream, and he supported that. So I think first you have to find someone that fits your personality, fits what you're trying to do, and then someone that has their own goals, and then someone that encourages you, and you find that out while you're dating the person. So because what you get while you're dating is what you're gonna get in marriage.
Talk about. Can you say? I feel like that was like we can see the stamp. I wrote that one down because eventually whenever I do go on a date, I'm like I'm gonna be listening. Like can you say that one more time?
What you get while you're dating is typically what you're gonna get in marriage. Of course, we do grow, we do change. Yeah, people change. But if that man is clingy all the time, that's what you're going to get when you're married. So, and if he doesn't have goals and dreams that he's trying to accomplish, then he's going to be all under you when you're trying to accomplish those goals. And those going to, that can be a hindrance.
Yeah.
So that, I would say that's the first thing. So yeah, he has his own thing going on. He has his own dream, and we intentionally support each other. We give each other space. So, yeah.
So just for like the married woman that might be watching and she feels like, oh, I can't really go after the thing that I want to, or God, I feel like God is calling me to certain things, but I might have a family, or I have my husband and I have other obligations. Like, what advice would you give for her?
Yeah, I don't have kids, so this is all theory.
Honey, I'm talking to you, mad single. We're like somebody out there with kids. We're talking to you, mad childless. So, theory.
Oh, yeah. It is managing your time. But before that, it's also just having a fire for what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like praying on it, but praying on it, there's no buts about that. There's no buts that follow. Praying on it, and understanding what you're trying to do and managing your time. It's hard, like maybe you're even a single mom, and it's a lot. It's a lot to go to work and then come home and have to take care of the kids and find the energy. Even not being married, it's hard sometimes coming home after work and just find the energy. Girl. Well, not having kids. I don't know if I said not being married, but not having kids and coming home, and it's hard, but I'll go back to having friends. Yeah. Having those people in your life, like even your spouse, like maybe say to them, like, okay, you're trying to do this, I'm trying to do this. Let's get the kids down so that we can have this 1 or 2 hour of just we're not like workspace. This will be our workspace.
Make a WeWork in your home.
Yes. Put the kids down, no TV. We put on some chill music, and he gets on the computer program. You make whatever you want to make. You set aside intentionally set aside time. You have to be intentional. Extra time is not going to magically appear. You have to be intentional about your time. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you pull out is like time management and clear communication. Yeah. And honestly, like those are just good life skills for anyone, whether you're in any season of your life, whether you're married, whether you're single, you have children, you have a business, or you work a 9 to 5, like clear communication, time management, it just impacts you and it makes your life a lot better. So like to this point, you've accomplished a lot in your life. You've had 2 businesses. You're focused on helping people through your skincare line. Like you're doing a lot. What advice, what final thoughts would you leave with a girl who might want to start her own business or is looking to get into a new arena? Like what would you say to her?
First, I would say before you spend any money, look at the resources that you currently have. Look at what your friends may have. Maybe they're trying to get rid of things. Just look at what you have for the business that you're trying to do. And, just thinking about there's someone, she's on YouTube and she goes dumpster diving. She's married with kids and she looks at it as her business. And so it's not everyone wants to go dumpster diving.
Oh, yeah, but okay.
But the fact is, she's serious about it and this is her business and she sells things that she finds. So the point is there are resources all around us. We just have to be willing to we have to look for it and be willing to go get it. So just find the resources that you have, form a community. Find those people, find your tribe, find those people that are working, that are going after their dreams, get together for coffee, have a group. Let's call each other once a week and keep form accountability group, So look for resources around you, form your accountability group, and then just also have some resources. There's so many free resources that are available, like online. Books from the library, you could look for books from the library, you could watch videos if you need to sell. Whatever skill you need to work on, you can find those resources. And then also valuing yourself, valuing what you're making. God's giving you this mind, he's giving you this business idea. Value it, like it's precious, and forget if someone I make skincare products. A lot of people, especially Black women, there's a lot of Black businesses that are making skincare products, and I've had people say to me like, oh, there's a lot of people that do that, like maybe you should do something else. I've had a couple people say that to me, and by a couple I mean like 1 or 2.
Hater.
Yeah, but then you also but that's fine, I've been to in different spaces. I've been to industry events where there's hardly any of us. Speaking of Black people or even other races at those events, it's mostly like a white audience, and they're selling skincare products, they're selling wellness products, and there's press there, there's investors there, and we're not there. So not all of us are going to get to a Shea Moisture. Some of us may just be making it consistently out of our kitchen, and it's just a side thing. But no matter where you want to take it, still do it, because you can make a product that, and your personality, people will go to you more so than someone else because they like your personality, they like how you make your products. It's just all these factors, but don't, I'm trying to say, disclude yourself. Discount yourself. Yeah, don't discount yourself. And also pricing.
Yeah.
Think about the business. Think about what you want for your life. For me, this is not a hobby. Like, I want to be able to move from a part-time job to be able to run this business full-time. I want to be able to hire employees. I want to be able to have my employees go on vacation. Yeah. I want to be able to close my office. I want to be able to take maybe the summers off, a couple months off. That's the life that I want to. So you have to think about that when you're pricing. Of course, don't I'm not even going to say that. I've seen some products I'm like, for a bar is that's a lot of money. Yeah. But some people look at my prices and think that's a lot of money as well. So you have to think about who's your customer. And the customer may not be your friends or your family. Yeah. So you have to value your product and price it accordingly, because the prices that you place on it, that's what people are that's how they're gonna view you. It helps motivate you and push you to deliver quality products. Yeah. So, yeah.
As you were speaking, what came to mind was the story of Moses and the children of Israel at the Red Sea. And, Moses was terrified. Like, God, what am I going to do? It's a whole sea. I got these people. And he asked God, and it's like, God's like, what is in your hand? Yeah. And the point, you're like, use the resources that you have. Yeah. Like, God, I feel like God is asking us, like, what is in your hand? Yeah. What have I given you? Yeah. And Moses, all he had was a staff. And he's like, he's discounting that of I just have a staff. Like, this can't do anything. It's like, there is something in your hand that God has given you. Whether that is you're able to make skincare, or you can write, or you're a good teacher, or you are, the best makeup artist out there, or you are the best cashier at whatever store you are at. Like, God is like, what is in your hand? Yeah. Use that, value it. Like, he's giving you that time, that talent. Like, what's in your hand, sis? What's in your hand? Yeah. Well, thank you, Kareen. I have learned so much, and I'm going to go apply this. So I'm talking to y'all, I'm really talking to myself. Go figure out what's in my own hand. Yeah. But thank you so much. And again, you've been watching The Purpose Talks with Lourdes Anita. I'm Lourdes Anita, writer over at lourdesanita.com. And on this channel, we're just going to be focused on our God-given purposes and eliminating distractions that try to get in the way. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.